Hey, what's going on, Fragrance family? This is Tyler Simply Fragrances, and today I'm bringing you a house review over a house maybe you've never heard of it. So really excited to get into this, so let's go ahead and dive in. Alright guys, welcome back. Like I said, my name is Tyler. This is my channel, Simply Fragrances, and today we're doing a house review over a house maybe you've never heard of it. So really excited to get into this. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you so much for the support. Really do appreciate that. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the love and support you've shown. So got a new house for you guys. Really excited. This is the house of hervé Laurent. Pardon me if I have butchered that name, but they had reached out to me talking about a new fragrance, and then I kind of got curious, and so I did some research on them, and I asked them, I was like, hey, what if we did some sort of collaboration, maybe send a sample of something or a fragrance, and for review. Just really curious to see what your stuff smells like. They agreed, and they said they would send something. I did not know what they would send, and they went above and beyond, so thank you so much for this, guys. But they have actually sent 400 ml bottles. Like, did absolutely not expect that, so really do appreciate this. This really does mean a lot, so thank you so much. All of their information, guys, is going to be listed in the description below, so be sure and go pay them a visit. But do want to give you guys my honest word on this. Just because they sent something doesn't mean they get an automatic free pass. This channel is based off of honesty and integrity, and I refuse to not give an honest review. So don't let that deter you thinking, oh, they sent him something, he's going to just talk great about it. That's not the case. So let's go ahead and get into it. So like I said, guys, for a new house, maybe you've never heard of it, so we'll go ahead and start with the box presentation. But before I do that, I asked the company, I was like, hey, you guys are a newer company. Is there anything that you want to leave a mark on the fragrance community with? Is there something that you want, everyone to know about yourself? And one thing that they said, I would say in the review is they want to be established as a luxury brand. They want to, let the world know they are into luxury perfumes and, perfuming. And so, that is their overall goal, as far as I'm concerned, and what they have told me. So this is going to be a house that is meant for luxury. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the box presentation. So when you get the box, like I said, this is something that for me, maybe a little, constructive feedback doesn't make sense, and I'll get into that. So you get this cardboard box, and you have the house, hervé Laurent. This is from the Bohan collection, and then this is extrait de parfum. On the sides you do have a little H, on the other side another little H, and then on the top you do have an HL for hervé Laurent, and on the back you do have some information about the house, the website, size, 3.4 fluid ounces or 100 ml. Now here's what maybe some constructive feedback for the house. Whenever you want to establish yourself as a luxury fragrance house, I think that everything has to be considered into that. Not only the finest fragrance oils, but the presentation and the bottle and everything. And if I'm being 100% honest, the box presentation, it just doesn't do it for me. Now, if this was, a $40, $50 fragrance, sure, why not? But I'll leave, the prices listed up for you guys, and you can see what I'm talking about. But when you're getting into prices like this, I do think that, the presentation does have to be considered. Not saying that they haven't considered it, but it just seems a little lackluster to me. That's just my only feedback that I would say with the box presentations. But obviously, we don't wear the boxes around our neck. It's not something that we're using as a trophy, so I get it, more value on the fragrance oils, 100% agree to that. But that would be the only thing I would say with the box presentations, and they all look the same, so not really a reason to show you, 4 box presentations. So that was the box presentations for hervé Laurent. Now let's go ahead and get into the fragrances. I'll go from my favorite to least favorite. And I do have a piece of paper that the company did send, so I do appreciate that. Kind of gives a little description and, the notes. So starting with my favorite, we'll go into this. This is Latino Royale, and this is a dandy of a fragrance. Absolutely love this stuff. So going into the notes, you're going to have top notes of vanilla, oak moss, musk, mint, and floral wood. In the heart notes, you get dry birch, jasmine, rose, orange, sage, plum, and cedar. And in the base, you do get black currant, pineapple, bergamot, oud wood, apple, and patchouli. So go ahead and show you the bottle here. So I'll have a little B-roll footage for you here, but nice little kind of, cylinder almost kind of bottle. Very good weight on this. Kind of got a heft to it. I do enjoy that. I don't know why. It makes you seem like you got something good. There's a weight behind it. I do appreciate that. So, and you do have a little sticker in the front, hervé Laurent, Latino Royale, Eau de Parfum, and then on the back you have the Bohan collection here. Kind of gives a little bit more information about it, and then nice little cap here. Nothing crazy. Doesn't snap into place. You can pick it up from the cap. I never ever recommend doing that, but it does fit pretty snug. And then give you guys a little spritz here. Nice. I just sprayed my phone, so that's good. But nice distribution. Atomizers do work very, very well on this. Now let's go ahead and get into the smell. So when you first spray this, it's a blast of citrus and vanilla. You get that vanilla, you get the oak moss in there, but you also get, you do get the pineapple, and you get this just citrus blast. And it's funny because in the top notes, there's no citrus listed. The citruses are in the base notes. You get the pineapple and the bergamot, but what's funny is the citruses come up front, and I don't know how they've done that. That's pretty remarkable, actually. So when you think of base notes, you think of more like heavier, woody, musky kind of, fragrance notes, right? But it's almost like they're flipped. It's just crazy to me that the top notes are the vanilla, oak, musk, and then the base notes are the pineapple, bergamot, apple, and it's so, I don't know how they've done it, but it works. Like, it's a really, really, really good fragrance. So you get that oak moss, you get the vanilla, you get the pineapple and the bergamot, you get the apple, and it's just this beautiful melody of vanilla, spices, and sweets, and just this musky, woody, beautiful fragrance. Absolutely gorgeous, guys. Very, very unisex. I would say, if I'm being, pulling hairs, going down to the wire, it might lean a little feminine, maybe, but I love it. It's a very, very good fragrance, guys. Makes me think of spring and summertime, just, flowers blossoming. You get, birds chirping, just a beautiful, bright, sunshiny, spring kind of a day. Absolutely phenomenal. Love this stuff. Going into the projection and performance, the projection, it's Eau de Parfum extrait, so it's not going to be like a crazy room filling fragrance, but it does have a nice little projection to it, a good arm's length for the first hour and a half, and then after that it does sit a little closer to the skin, talking maybe 3-4 inches in projection. Nothing crazy, but nice little sillage and scent bubble and scent trail that you will leave behind you. Occasions to wear this, I would think this is a really safe kind of everyday fragrance, even though it they want to be more of a luxurious kind of fragrance brand. I do get that, but this is a pretty safe, inoffensive fragrance in my opinion. Great for office or really anything. It's kind of a Swiss Army knife. It doesn't really depict any one circumstance for me. So really good overall fragrance, guys. Absolutely recommend this. Very, very good. Very sweet, vanilla, dominant, woody, citrusy style fragrance. So that is Latino Royale from hervé Laurent. Now my next favorite on the list, this is Casanova. So leave a little B-roll footage for you there, but all the bottles, they all look the same, at least in this collection, and all the caps. So no reason to really kind of go into that too much, but this is more of a floral dominant fragrance, guys. And It's really good. Really, really good. I like this. Like I said, the Latino Royale is my favorite, and just because this is after that doesn't mean it's a bad fragrance. It's just I like the Latino Royale just a little bit better. But the Casanova, let's go ahead and get into that. So all these are part of the Bohan collection. Like I said, these were launched back in 2022. So top notes, you're going to get bergamot, orange blossom, freesia, apple, and mint. And the heart notes, you get sage, iris, clove leaf, rosewood, tobacco, ambergris, cedarwood. And then in the base, you do get vetiver, oak moss, dark amber, myrrh, musk, tea rose, patchouli, and sandalwood. Now this one, it's a different fragrance, guys. It doesn't really have anything in there that would be like super like floral dominant, but it's a very floral dominant fragrance. So you open it up, you do get the orange blossom in there, you get a bit of a mint note, nothing crazy. Not going to be like a super, spearmint heavy kind of fragrance, but there is a nice mint note in there. And then, the iris and the clove do kind of come out, but not for, I'd say about 5 to 10 minutes. It's more of this kind of sweeter orange blossom, woody kind of fragrance. But then as it dries down, there's a lot of development off of these fragrances. It does go into more of a rose dominant style fragrance. Excuse me. You do get, kind of a tea rose. So almost like a creamy style rose with some vetiver and earthy kind of tones to it. Nothing super crazy, not going to be super challenging, but overall very good dominant floral dominant fragrance with some kind of woody attributes to it with a little bit of a citrusy opening. So very kind of unique style fragrance, guys. Nothing that I would say is super challenging, but it also doesn't smell like everything else out on the market. So definitely recommend this one as well. Very good for springtime. I do think that in the summertime this might be a little bit thick depending on your location. If you live anywhere where there's a lot of humidity, this might be a bit thick for it. But again, this one does have a good a good longevity and projection about it. Arm's length for the first hour, maybe hour and a half, and then kind of the same story with the first one. Does sit a little bit closer to the skin, but you still do have a nice little scent bubble and you leave a nice little scent trail. This one I would say more of like a date night kind of office style sentiment where you might be wearing a little bit more of a button-up style t-shirt, slack, stuff like that. It just seems to have a bit more of a dressed up vibe to it. So overall, really do recommend that one. And then going down into the list, guys, this is Marco Polo. The notes on this one is top notes of iris, clover, sandalwood, vanilla, and musk. Heart notes: violet leaves, verbena, clove leaf, ambergris, dry birch, rose, Moroccan jasmine. Base notes: pineapple, blackcurrant, myrrh, amberwood, oud wood, oak moss, vetiver, and cedarwood. So you would think, guys, let me give it a little spritz here. You would think that this would be a very like woody dominant fragrance, but it's really more of a clean, spicy, fresh fragrance. Like the vetiver on here really does come out very strongly. And so vetiver, it's one of those fragrance notes that I'm still trying to not get used to. It doesn't really seem to want to work off of my skin. I don't know what it is, but there's very few vetiver forward dominant fragrances that really work off my skin. This one, it's not that it doesn't work off my skin, but it doesn't play super beautiful off of my skin, not gonna lie. So very spicy, like almost kind of astringent citrus in the top, but then as it starts to dry down, you do get this vetiver green, woody, very earthy kind of rich, raw style fragrance. So very regal, if that makes sense. Very masculine, kind of think of not gentleman in the sense of like a barbershop, but very straightforward style of a fragrance. Very hefty, if that makes any kind of a sense. But overall, very good fragrance. It's one of those fragrances that it doesn't smell bad on me, but it doesn't smell super great either. It's a vetiver, at least off of my skin, vetiver dominant fragrance. And you do get the cloves in here, and cloves can kind of be a polarizing fragrance note. It can kind of smell Christmassy at times, and it does have that attribute to it, but it's kind of a unique fragrance to describe. So I do apologize if I'm not giving a super great description, but it kind of has more of an old school vibe to it. Like I think of like an 80s powerhouse style fragrance. Nothing barbershoppy or super gentleman, but it has those type of attributes to it. So that's honestly, it's like I said, a hard fragrance to describe. That's the best I can really do. It's a fragrance that I definitely recommend sampling if you do want to sample it. But if you like those kind of older 70s, 80s, kind of powerhouse style fragrances, I think that you would like this. If you like vetiver, this is definitely something to really check out. I would stick away from it from the summertime. I think it would be a little bit thick and clawing. In the spring, fall, and winter, I do think it's got some, heft to it to kind of cut through that cooler air. But overall, really decent fragrance, just doesn't really work off of my skin. Into the last fragrance, this is Technology. The notes on this one, guys, the top notes are going to be, bergamot, orange blossom, vanilla, musk, and dark oak. Heart notes, iris, geranium, lily of the valley, rose, jasmine, dry birch. Base notes, vetiver, blackcurrant, pineapple, cedarwood, patchouli, sandalwood, and dark amber. Now, this one, it's so crazy, guys. So this one, it didn't work for me, and that's okay. I 100% believe this is my skin chemistry. So I don't know if it's the geranium, lily of the valley, and the vetiver with the patchouli not working so well off of my skin, but it's a very, very green vetiver floral kind of a fragrance, a bit astringent, kind of stings the nostrils, if you will, at least off of my skin. Not a bad fragrance, it really doesn't work off of my skin. That vetiver is so heavy on this one. With that clove in there, it doesn't work for me. Now in the air, it smells pretty decent, not gonna lie. Like in the air, none of these stink, but off of my skin, it just goes so earthy and vetiver heavy. It just doesn't work off of my skin. It really doesn't, and that's okay. I do blame my skin chemistry on this, because I had another friend smell this. He wore it, and it smelled quite nice on him. It really did. So when you get into fragrances, guys, the thing that you guys have to understand is just because something works for me or doesn't work for me doesn't mean it's going to be the same story for you guys. So on this one, obviously recommend sampling. I recommend sampling everything. But in my opinion, fragrances, it's one of those things that it's personal. You really have to put it on skin to see what it's going to do. On this, it doesn't work for me. On my friend, it actually did work for him. So, maybe, I don't know, diet, whatever. I don't know what it is about me that it doesn't work for, but it just doesn't. But in the air, it's a decent fragrance. I really do enjoy it in the air. You get this earthy, woody, musky, like there's a gentleman kind of quality to this. Don't think of barbershop, but this is a man's fragrance, in my opinion. Very, modern gentleman kind of fragrance. You get that cedar in there, you get that musk, you get the, that geranium in there, but just that vetiver. It's like a very clean, fresh fragrance. Don't think of like shower gel, but very clean and fresh, like almost like you left the barbershop and they put that soap on you. Not barbershop soap, but just a very clean, fresh, regal, invigorating type of smell. Very, very good for the summer. Very, very good for really all year round. But I think of like getting out of, a barbershop in the summertime or springtime. Great fragrance, just doesn't work on me, and that's okay. Longevity, it does last a good amount. Not quite as long as the other ones. I'd say between that 7 to 8 hour mark, but that's just off my skin. Like I said, chemistry can play a huge factor into that, but very, very good fragrance, guys. Just doesn't work for me. Longevity does get 7, 8 hours. Yeah, it's one of those ones where I really do want it to work for me. I really do. It smells good in the air. Even like smelling it in the air, I'm like, man, it smells great in the air. It just doesn't work on me. So I feel like I'm repeating myself, but overall, guys, very decent collection. I do recommend sampling this. Like I said, all of these fragrances will be listed in the description below. Their site will be listed in the description below. So I do recommend, guys, it's never a bad time to try a new house. So sample everything, reach out to them. They're very, very friendly, very, very easy to get in contact with. So overall, guys, that is going to do my review for this house. Right, guys, so like I said, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate that. Recommend, guys, sampling these guys. Get your nose on them. Do what you can. Like I said, they're very, very friendly house to work with. I do appreciate everything they've done for me. So like I said, that is going to do my review. Recommend it, guys. Comment down below what you thought. Do any of these stick out to you? I know the prices are, a bit pricey. Is this something that, does interest you? If so, sample it, comment down below if you've even heard of this house. I know some people have, some people haven't, but for me, this was a new house, so curious to see what you think about this house, guys. Comment down below. I'm going to catch you in the comment section. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. And remember, if you love it, wear it.